What's up, Nerd Nation? This is Jether Blaze from Jet Set Media coming at you with the Nerds List. We're going to be doing an unboxing and setup of an Armored Core model kit. This is the Mirage CO4 Atlas Fox Eye version. Now, I used to play Armored Core way back on the 6th generation of consoles, which is the PS2 era, and I used to play the Armored Core 3 Silent Line games, and the AC that you see on this cover here, this AC comes from the Armored Core 3 Silent Line games, and we're going to be doing a quick unboxing. Well, not quick, but we're going to be doing an unboxing and a setup. Now, full disclaimer, I actually had some technical issues earlier, so some of the assembly has already been done, and it's not going to be like a first time unboxing. Some of the items are outside of the box, but just to give you a glimpse of what it looks like when you just get it. So without further ado, here we go. Alright, so this is what comes in the box. Not everything, as I mentioned before. You get the assembly manual, which is pretty straightforward, but one thing you'll notice about it is that it's in Japanese. The instructions are in Japanese, but it's informative enough using the alphanumeric indications for where to find which item on the panel, on which panel, and from there, you can go ahead with the build. You don't need to know Japanese. Some things are written in Japanese, like I don't know if you can see this right here. This line of text here is in Japanese. I have no idea what it says, but it's probably not that relevant. A lot of people in the States build these, no problem at all. So I did start an unboxing and a setup of another Armored Core model kit that I had, and there were some English translations of some of the annotations in the manual, telling you, like, for example, it's recommended that you glue here, or this might be a weak joint, add some glue there, or you might want to use scissors for this or that. So there were translations for that. For this AC, I am going to pick up where I left off, which, let me get this box out of the way. Be careful not to disturb the mic, because that will make a loud noise as the boom arm goes back up. So I'm going to leave the assembly manual here, make sure it's in frame so you guys can see it. And I'm going to show you which parts I've already built. Now, these parts here look like they're the shoulder units, or parts of the shoulder unit. You can see here, I'll put it on camera here so you guys can see. And these shoulder units are part of the arm assembly. And I have these, which look like they're probably going to be attached to the arm, attached to this assembly here. And this part here, which is a straggler, as I decided, you know what, let me not continue any further, because the reason why I decided to do these off camera or continue is because these are duplicates. Obviously I don't want to do it twice. Just extend the duration of the video, make editing much more difficult, and I'm a noob with that kind of stuff. So for now, we're just gonna get into where I left off. So I need here this component. We're gonna build what you see in this square here. I don't know if you can see it too well, but not really that necessary if you guys see it. As long as I can see it and do the build, that's fine. So what am I gonna need? I'm gonna need J12. So now there's gonna be two J12 units because there's two J panels, and here we have them, the two J panels. And I haven't taken off any of the J12s yet, so, and as you can tell, some of these components are missing because I've already used them here on these shoulder units. So let's just get into it. Alright, so one of the things that I like the most about playing Armored Core was that Armored Core was a game that was very unique at the time that it was very popular. I mean, it's still, I don't want to say it's very popular now. It has like a niche following, a cult following, and the majority of the install base for the game is in Japan right now. And as you can tell, this Kotobukiya manufacturer is obviously Japanese, and the instructions for this are in Japanese, meaning that most of the memorabilia for Armored Core, most of the install base, most of the products that cater to the Armored Core fan base are going to be overseas. But I liked it because when I was playing on PlayStation 2, it was the only game that I could find of its kind, because I wanted robot action, I wanted frenetic gameplay, fast-paced, fast and frenzied gameplay, and I wanted something that would keep me on my toes, that would allow for customizability. You could build your robot, your mech, however you wanted to, and that's just something that I was interested in, and I still am to a degree. I mean, heck, I'm building this, right? So, alright, let's see what we got next. We got J12, J12, B10. I got right here. I got this F15 unit right here. So now let me get B9 and B10. Let me go find that. So now this is probably going to be, I don't know, it's probably going to be two of these because there's two J12s here. So, well, yeah, and there's two B panels, as you can see up above. I got, yeah, let me just cut off this other one right now because I know I'm going to need it. And, yeah, so, for me, Armored Core was a really good game. I started with Armored Core 3, then I went to Silent Line, which was my favorite game in the series. And then after that, I decided, you know what, I want to try some of the older games, so I ended up getting Armored Core 2 Another Age. I think the distinguishing feature of Another Age was that, it had a huge arena, and you know, I liked the arena. You got to see all the different mech customizations possible, all the different battle styles of the different robots, the different armored cores, I should say, and you could see how they played. One of them, my most favorite enemies was Barchetta from Armored Core 3. He was essentially just decked out with these high-powered grenade launchers, and I had a friend way back in the day. We used to like to play together, and we would always include him on the matches because he always presented a challenge. He was a tank-type AC with grenade launcher arms and then grenade launcher back units, and then he had missile interceptor extensions. So you couldn't really get at him with missiles, but you could, but it was not as effective. And plus, he's a tank, so he has the extra armor. So it made it a tough challenge because if you got in close, you were gonna get grenaded to death, bro. You don't want that heat. And that heat was serious. So, speaking of heat, one of the reasons why I stopped playing was because when Armored Core Nexus came around, the game tried to be a little more realistic, so overheating and cooling became a very important part of the design of your AC. You had to really make sure that your AC would not overheat from boosting, would not overheat from taking damage fire, and things like that. And then Armored Core just had like a very, you know, intractable, very difficult and unwieldy control scheme. And when it came onto the 7th gen consoles, and then it came over to Xbox 360, it was a Sony exclusive before then. When it came onto the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 consoles, they remapped the controls. It was a lot better, much more easy to play. But at that time I was going into college, so you know I didn't really have time to be playing. Alright, so enough rambling, let me get on with it. We got this F16. We got one of the J12s, I don't know which one I'm going to start with. It looks like, well, they're perfectly symmetric, so I'm going to need, where is it? And then what else? Is there any other F on this? F14 and 15, okay, so let me see if I can find that. Alright, I haven't taken these off yet, so. Now for me, I try to be very delicate with these because if you break a piece, ain't no getting it back. You know, there's no replacement parts. These are all unique items. I mean, some of them are duplicated because you have a left side and a right side, but it's not modular in the sense that you can swap out a part for, you know, another unit. These are all very precise, precision designed plastic components, so they're not like Legos, for example. You can't just go to a store and replace it or order a replacement part online. So anyway, here we go. So, oh okay, silly me, I got F-15 already. So now let me get the B components. I need B9 and B10. Okay, here we go. They're mirror images of each other. There we go. The reason why I'm using these scissors is because I don't want to put undue force on these components and have something break. Earlier today, and that's part of the reason why I had to stop the video that I was doing, in addition to some other issues with Adobe screwing me over, Adobe Premiere. Took all day to troubleshoot because I'm a noob at this stuff. But I ended up using too much force in trying to take out a part because I had put it on wrong, and then one of the pegs broke off, and I was just so pissed off, man. Thankfully I had some crazy glue, and the crazy glue was able to hold it together, and it was a part that was encased inside another part. So this is the part I'm talking about here, is the part inside here. There's like a connection here, and one of the little pegs broke off, and I was just freaking out because I had no idea if I didn't know at the time what it was part of, if it was a crucial component or whatnot. So I just, you know, I was freaking out, but thankfully the crazy glue helped. So 14, I gotta stop rambling and get this going. So enjoy some of the Armored Core porn that I'm gonna show, because that game, one of the best things about each Armored Core game was the unique CGI trailer in the beginning, and that was one of the things that got me so hyped for each game, with the exception of Armored Core Nexus, as I mentioned, because of the way that they messed up the game. But Armored Core Nexus had an amazing CGI trailer, and you guys should check it out. I'm gonna show some footage of it in the video. F-14 looks like it tackles here, fairly straightforward, very simple. Yeah, this AC actually is with the shit. You don't want the work. You don't want the hands from this AC. Like, we're building the arms right now. The arm units he's using, the weapons are the Kurosawa and a grenade launcher. I used to use this grenade launcher a lot when I came out in Armored Core Online. And that was because it did great damage and was very accurate at mid-range and close range. And for that, it was a very versatile weapon. I used to like to play close to mid-range because I would blade a lot. I would strike with the blade a lot in Armored Core. It was very fun gameplay. What am I missing here?
Armored Core Nexus.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little difficult to make out what's supposed to go where. But make do with what I got. Is it like this? Because there's two sides here. There's this hole here. I don't know. Okay, that looks like it goes there. Okay, and this looks like it goes here. And you can see how these small little components come together to create a structure. And okay, yeah, and then how these plug into each other up here like so. Yep, that's that. So So that's it for this one, right? Am I right? Am I right? So let me see. What's the next one? This. Okay. G12. I need to get I-15, B5. I-15, 16, and B5. So let me find that. I don't think I opened the bag for I-15, the I category of components yet, so I gotta go back into the box here to find it. That's funny. This has A and C together inside of it. A and C. And you know, AC, short for Armored Core. Interesting. I wonder if that was intentional or not. Well, I'll never know. It says I right here. And of course it was the very last one. So I 15, 16, and B5. This is B. Did I get B5 right? No, I didn't. So I'm going to take this B5 off right here. Just going to get right to it. It kind of pains me to see that Armored Core is kind of like a franchise that it's in its twilight years. There's a small holdout of players here in North America. As I mentioned, most of the players are in Japan, but for whatever reason, the games aren't received very well. Again, I didn't play Armored Core on the PS3 or Xbox 360. I never had an Xbox console, but I never played on the PS3 because at the time that PS3 came out, it launched with a very high price point. And at that time in my life, I was getting ready to go to college, so I couldn't justify paying such a huge price for a console when I had all these college expenses, and then of course the responsibility associated with studying. So I had to I missed out most of the 7th generation of consoles for that reason. And it was sad for me because that was like I would say probably the last great generation of gaming. With the current generation of gaming, things just seem to have gone downhill with the pay-to-win microtransactions. You've got DLC, you've got timed exclusive content like with Destiny 2 that just released and with Destiny 1, which I really don't like that. Timed exclusives is a way of punishing the player base, the half of the player base that chose not to play on the console that you have a deal with the manufacturer for. You know, I don't like that. And I've only ever been on the receiving end of it because I've only had a Sony console, and I've never played Call of Duty, for example, where there's timed DLC in the opposite direction in favor of the Xbox console. But I just never liked that. And I feel like there's too much of an emphasis on graphical fidelity in games nowadays, and not so much on gameplay. And for me, I'm all about the gameplay. Let's get this. Very paranoid about using force in these things because, as I said, you break it, you're done. You're snapping in half, you're done. Not like a Lego kit. Ain't no way to get a replacement without ordering a whole new set, and you know I ain't with that. So. And there it goes. Nigga, we made it. I use that hashtag a lot. It's a song from Soulja Boy and Drake. One of the only songs from Soulja Boy that I actually like. And in the comments to his video for that song, a lot of people were like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, this shit is fire. The song was dope. Some of Soulja Boy's best rapping in my opinion. But yeah, I've used that hashtag ever since I heard that song. And that song is also, you got Drake on the track for the original song. He just mentions "Nigga, we made it" at the end. He said, Dre hit my phone and said, "Nigga, we made it" at the end of the song. Drake, and I don't really like that song, to be honest. It's just the flow. I just can't get into it. Okay. My other camera's done, so I'll have to pause right here. And then I'll continue on with this another time. So this is Jether Blaze from Jet Set Media. It's a forthcoming YouTube channel where I'm going to be talking about science, engineering, and tech news, but mostly engineering news. Focus more so on engineering news and a little bit of tech. So, you know, engineering and tech kind of go hand in hand. Not as much science, but the reason why is because there's a lot of, you know, coverage of science news. There's a lot of coverage of news in the tech industry, and not a corresponding amount of coverage of engineering that I have found. So I figured, hey, let me just fill the void there. So that's what I'm going to be doing. This video is going to be posted to the Nerds List channel. The Nerds List channel is kind of like a one-stop shop for everything nerd. So everything from gaming to cosplay to anime, manga, all the things that are within the domain of discourse of nerd culture, so to speak. So there's a lot of content coming out, podcasts, videos, like I'm making a video right now. This is for the Nerds List. And we just got a lot of stuff coming, so make sure you subscribe. Go check out the Nerds List. Follow them on Twitter and Facebook. And make sure you follow me on Twitter. I'm at JetherBlaze, 18 plus only, mature audiences only, because I'm uncensored on Twitter. So if you are immature, just don't follow me. You know, I don't need that shit. So that's what it is, homies. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.